Hi guys, welcome back to my video on the midheavens in air signs. Today I'm going to be talking about, oh my God, I just repeated myself. Today I'm going to be talking about the midheaven in the air signs. So if you have an Aquarius midheaven, a Libra midheaven, or a Gemini midheaven, then this video is for you. Okay, so now let's dive into what it means to have midheaven in Libra and how you can use it to your advantage in your career and your personal life. So midheaven in Libra is all about harmony, balance, aesthetics, and perfection. Your public image is all about being sophisticated, being charming, and having a sense of style and sort of feminine energy around you, a sort of balance and stable, grounding, beautiful sort of image and branding. Your aesthetic is elegant, refined, and influenced by art and design. In terms of job examples, you might excel in a career that involves fashion design or law or anything that's really creative or anything that deals with stability. So it's either like finance, money, things like that, or straight up creativity like art or fashion and an architect or something like that. Your career most likely won't be anything too crazy or too dramatic. It's sort of like just right, Creative, when I say creative, I don't mean, well, you could be an actress, you could be an actor, you could be a performer, but it's more like creative, It's not dramatic. That's the right word. Like midheaven in Leo is like super dramatic. It's super obnoxious. You're that, but not really. You're like more toned down. You're more aesthetic. You're more sort of perfect in a way. That's how you appear to others, in the public, in the real world, in like your public image and things like that. Like you're more refined, you're more elegant, you're more balanced, you're more aesthetic. Like, for example, those videos on like TikTok and YouTube of those women who organize their food pantries and organize their cabinets and their entire house is perfect and their wardrobe is like one color and like they talk really slow and relaxing like this. Or those meditation videos on YouTube where the entire channel is super organized, or those Pinterest boards that are super perfect and organized where everything is very cohesive and goes together. That is literally the Libra midheaven. Because Libra rules over balance and aesthetics and things that are feminine and slow. So your career field could also involve women of some sort. Anything that is feminine, anything that deals with a woman or women or girls or anything, that is right up your alley. Like makeup, beauty, fashion, that is very much Libra midheaven. Or on the other side, like how I mentioned before, anything having to do with money and finance, like accounting, being a lawyer, going into law, being a part of the government. Because Libra rules with justice, and the Libra midheaven wants to do what is right. It likes when things are in order. So money and finance and things like that as a career, that is also something that will benefit you as well. Some celebrity examples of midheaven in Libra include Kylie Jenner. She's a social media personality and entrepreneur known for her sense of style and her makeup line. She has a midheaven in Libra, and her public image is all about being a fashion icon, right? Being a tastemaker, a trendsetter, and she is someone who definitely uses her Libra midheaven to a T, because she made a makeup line, and makeup is definitely ruled by Venus because it deals with, women and things like that. Well, I think it's ruled by Venus. I think it's a very Venusian thing, makeup, fashion in general. It could also be ruled by Pisces or Neptune because, it's painting illusions onto the face. But I consider it a very Venus thing. But moving on, another example is Paris Hilton. She's known for her hyper feminine girly style, bimbo airhead-ish persona. That is also very Libra midheaven. It is one of the archetypes of Libra midheaven. So how can you use your midheaven in Libra to find your personal style and attract others? Well, if you have midheaven in Libra, then you might want to incorporate elegant and refined pieces into your wardrobe. Think classic cuts, fine fabrics, and accessories that complement your outfit. You can also look to the celebrity examples like Paris Hilton. She's in the early 2000s, she's someone who really uses her Libra midheaven to this day. You can look at the way that Kylie Jenner markets her makeup brand, her beauty brand, because colors of the Libra midheaven include pink, white, and light baby blue, and even light purple can be used to, sort of embody the Libra midheaven. And remember, your public image is all about balance, harmony, and aesthetics. You can use this to your advantage to attract others who appreciate your refined sense of style and taste. And this is also great if you want to be like an influencer, if you want to be a YouTuber, or if you sort of want to go into fashion, or even law, because the Libra midheaven basically embodies all of these things, This is the one midheaven where people don't mind if you're overly perfect, overly curated, overly, sort of balanced and organized, because that is what the world is asking of you. Archetypes for the Libra midheaven include the bimbo sort of airhead vibe that I mentioned earlier, because Libra is an air sign, and it's just that archetype I've noticed is super popular with the Libra midheaven. You can also take on this like spoiled princess-ish type of persona and vibe. That will also work for you as well. Mila Kunis, I believe, has a Libra midheaven, and her role in that 70s show captures this all too well. And what was the last archetype? No, I think that was like the two most common archetypes, like the princess-ish, the snooty vibe, or the airhead bimbo vibe is super popular. Overall, this is gonna sound bad, but like think about in movies when there's always that dumb character that doesn't really know anything. Like they mean well, but it's just like the execution is like, oh, you tried. That is very much Libra midheaven. And when you play into these archetypes, you'll find that you attract an audience and people to you much quicker, much faster. Oh, another example, if you've ever seen the movie Enchanted with Amy Adams, and she played the princess, her entire persona is literally the embodiment of Libra midheaven. Like that should be a subsection of an archetype for Libra midheaven, because it is so similar to, the overall vibe of it. Like she's very airy, she's very fleety, like, oh, I was just trying to do, something good. And it's like she burnt a house down. But like, no. But like, yeah, that's Libra midheaven, an example. Another example would be like from Clueless. I'm forgetting, Cher from Clueless, how she's very like airheadish, she means well, she just wants things to be okay. That is very much Libra midheaven. All right, so that is it for midheaven and Libra. I hope you enjoyed this segment and learned more about your midheaven and how it can influence your career and your style, and I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up and a comment down below about what you thought about the video. I'd love to chat with you. And also, I do offer consultations. Just shoot me a DM on Instagram or shoot me an email. However, I most likely, by the time this video is uploaded, I most likely will be on hiatus. So I'm taking like a super long social media break. But I will be back around July or the end of June. So yeah, definitely look out for that. And if you wanted to know more about your midheaven in depth, I do have ebooks. They will be linked below. I literally have a library of astrology ebooks. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely click that link and check it out. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Hi, welcome back to the video on midheavens and the air signs. In the previous segments, we discussed the midheaven in Libra, and now let's dive into what it means to have midheaven in Gemini and how you can use it to your advantage in your career and personal life. So, midheaven in Gemini is all about connection, adaptability, versatility, and controversy. Your public image is all about being a versatile, witty, controversial, drama-stirring, curious sort of individual. Your aesthetic is going to be youthful, playful, and, always changing. In terms of job examples, you might excel in a career that involves writing, media, or sales, or something of that nature. So when we look at jobs with Midheaven and Gemini, anything having to do with communications is typically going to go well with you. This looks like writing, using your hands, building something, but most likely communication. So again, writing, journalism, media, being an entertainer, even being a comedian could help. Because I think Gemini does rule over laughter and stuff. So, anything where you're using your voice and you're communicating to others and you're starting a conversation, you are, rocking the boat in a way, you are typically going to succeed at. So this could also honestly look like politics, because that could be considered media, but definitely writing, journalism, using your hands, talking to people. This could even look like being a video essay type YouTuber. Someone who just uses communication in a way that moves and changes others. As a Midheaven in Gemini, you can move and change others with your words. A lot of celebrities with Midheaven in Gemini, the roles that they play, it's sort of like they change things a bit with their words. Like the way that they say things, the way that they communicate things are very profound. So you could also be a really good actor or actress, because with you, it's not so much your body language, it's your delivery. How some people can say F you, but their body or their words, it's they don't mean it. But when a Gemini Midheaven says something like F you, it's oh my God, me, what did I do to you? So it's that. Your words are very profound. Understand this and use it to your advantage to, advance in your career and personal life. Understand that your role in society is to be the drama. You are to stir the controversy. You are to, start conversations. You are to change things. You're to challenge people intellectually by questioning their perspectives as a Gemini Midheaven. So this is why writing, blog writing, writing books, writing articles, being on podcasts, being a politician, arguing, all of these things are tied into the Gemini Midheaven, and you are doing what you are meant to do. This is what you are supposed to do. You are meant to, start conversations, start controversies, because if you don't start conversations, then how are you going to start, revolutions, and how are you going to invoke change if no one even knows about it? That is what you're meant to do. You're meant to challenge the status quo in terms of mental strength and abilities and things like that. So if you have this Midheaven, then anything, again, having to do with writing, communication, being controversial, starting drama, that is very much Gemini Midheaven. A celebrity example of a Gemini Midheaven would be Natalie Portman, and she is an actress, but she is in a lot of she is in a lot of movies that are sort of controversial. For example, Black Swan. That's another thing I'll go over later. Gemini, an archetype of Gemini is two sides of the same coin. They sort of contradict themselves because they're two-faced. They represent the twins. So I'm going into something else. I'll go back to Natalie Portman in a second. But with Gemini Midheavens, their archetype, they're able to express their own dichotomy within themselves, and it gets people really upset and mad, because it's sort of this energy where it's you can't be two things at once. That's not fair. That's not the rules. But Gemini over here is okay, but why are the rules the rules? Who says they can't challenge the rules? Who are you to tell me the rules are? That's sort of that Gemini, mercurial, childish. It's really childish and playful energy. Gemini in general is very youthful, childish and playful. And so when it comes to like career, public image, how you're seen in the modern world, you take on that sort of two-faced persona. It's like, these are like the types of people who will post something like, I effing hate pineapples on pizza. And then they'll post a video or like a photo of them eating pineapples on pizza and then won't say anything about it. And then people will argue in the comments like, okay, but didn't you just say this? And like, someone's like, okay, well, you don't know this person. What have they, people are allowed to change. And then it goes into something else. Like, you see what I mean? Gemini, midheavens, they play with the opinions of people and the perceptions of people because they start conversations. They start intellectual movements this way. They sort of play with people. And so as a Gemini midheaven, you know, that is sort of what, you know, you're meant to do. You know, you're meant to be the jester. You're meant to orchestrate things. If you've ever seen Mean Girls, and you know that scene of Regina George where she's in the freaking hallway and she literally is standing in the middle of the chaos that she created purposely because she wanted to see everything go up in flames, that is literally Gemini midheaven. She literally stood in the center of the chaos that she created with a smirk on her face because she's like, well, oh well. You know, that's Gemini midheaven. They like to play with people. They like to, oh my God, another good example are the troll accounts on social media. You'll often see like, you know, like it's a serious video and then that one person's like, okay, her shirt's ugly. And then a million people are like arguing with that person. They're like, how could you? Why would you do that? That's Gemini energy. They just like to play with people. They like to challenge what's already there. They like to challenge people in this sort of childish way. Now, you can go really wrong as a Gemini midheaven when you try to do the right thing. When you try to be overly good. And when you try to be overly positive and you don't try and ever challenge yourself or anything, that can actually be the start of your own downfall because people, they don't want to see you perfect. They don't want to see you doing good. They want to see you as the devil's advocate. They want to see you stirring drama. You know, that's what they like from you. The 10th house is also what you give to the world. That is what the world is asking of you. They're asking for your controversial opinions. They're asking for your different thoughts and your different wavelengths that no one really even cared to think about until you brought it up. You know, that is what people are asking of the midheaven in Gemini. And that is what you're meant to do in the modern world. You're meant to change things through intellectual pursuits, through communication. Now, back to Natalie Portman. Her role as Black Swan, she played, it was like how do I even describe this movie? Okay, well, she played like at first a really innocent girl who's very sheltered. She wore pink. She was a ballet dancer. And throughout the movie, she needed her, well, actually, it didn't go like that. But anyway, she got this role as the Black Swan. And the thing about the Black Swan is that it challenged her as a person because the Black Swan is like dark feminine energy, very daunting, very rebellious, right? And she was the complete opposite of that. And so throughout the movie, she struggles with this dichotomy within herself of juggling the light feminine and the dark feminine. And she doesn't understand that she can be both at the same time. You know, and that's Gemini midheaven in general. You can be both at the same time. It works for you. Or if you've ever seen like someone who contradicts themselves, like let's say that they have like a soft girl aesthetic, they dress in pink and they're just super like girly, but like they listen to metal or something crazy. And it's like, wait, what? Like, I don't get it. Or like if you've ever like met someone who is like super tough, they're super tough, they're super masculine, they're all about the grind, they're all about business, you know, it's all about whatever, but like they cuddle with like squishmallows. It's like, wait, what are you talking about? Like, weren't you just in the gym eating like 3 pounds of steak, jamming out to like a hardcore rap, like you cuddle with squishmallows, what? Like, that's the Gemini midheaven energy. It's very contradictory, and it plays with people's energy. And that's how you can win in the modern world. And that you can also market yourself that way if you're trying to attract others. So how can you use your midheaven in Gemini to find your personal style and attract others? Well, if you have midheaven in Gemini, then you might want to incorporate playful and youthful pieces into your wardrobe. Think of, the light prints, the bold prints, statement jewelry, colorful accessories, and things like that. Like aesthetics that I can think of are like the bohemian aesthetic, or what was that style called? It was like in the early 2010s. It was like an indie style. I forget the name of it, but it was like really cute. But like, anything that's like youthful, that is vibrant, that is radiant to you. Yellows, burnt orange, light green. That is Gemini energy in general. Think of the sun, sunshine, sunflowers, things like that. Well, the sun does not rule over Gemini. Mercury does. Mercury is intelligence and things like that. But when it comes to the Gemini midheaven, that childish, playful, vibrant energy, incorporate that into your style and your aesthetics, and you will attract others to you. Okay, thank you so much for listening to this video. Don't forget to leave a like and a comment down below. And tell me what you thought about this. I do offer consultations. Just shoot me a DM on Instagram, or shoot me an email. However, by the time this video is released, I most likely will be on hiatus, so I'll be back around July or late June. But so I'll get back to it eventually. If you would like to know more about your midheaven, Gemini midheaven, then I click the link below. You'll access my library full of ebooks about the midheaven and various of other topics, so definitely check that out if you're interested. Okay, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Hi, welcome to my video on the midheavens and the air signs. Today we're going to be discussing midheaven in Aquarius. In the previous segments, we discussed the midheaven in Gemini and Libra. And now, last but not least, let's dive into what it means to have midheaven in Aquarius and how you can apply it to your advantage in career and your personal life. So, midheaven in Aquarius is all about being unique, innovative, and let me start over. Midheaven in Aquarius is all about being unique, innovative, and ahead of your time. So your public energy is all about being a visionary, a rebel, a humanitarian, someone who serves and helps society, and someone who thinks outside of the box and who is completely different from the rest. Someone who sets the standards, someone who is truly bold and influential and does things completely different. When you think about your aesthetic is modern, unconventional, not so much modern, more like it's just different. Every Aquarius placement, they don't really have a specific aesthetic, because Aquarius, they're really influenced by science and technology and the progression of humanity. So they set the trends, they set the standards. So if you're in Aquarius midheaven, you're most likely ahead of your time, and you most likely have your own personal style, and you most likely don't really give into the trends of other people or like what's popular. And if you are, then you should stop, because you're not going to attract anyone to you if you're copying other people. Unfortunately, that's just how it is with Aquarius placements. They are meant to be the change. They are meant to they're meant to set the standards. They're not meant to really be a part of the crowd. Aquarius is very detached from humanity as it serves it at the same time. Think about the hero in any medium of fiction. How can the hero help the citizens, help the poor? How could the hero be a hero if the hero is a part of the masses, And so that is the sort of energy that the Aquarius midheaven has. It's sort of like the hero. It's the helper, the server of humanity. Aquarius is here to change things, to shake things up, to make things different, to make things new. So in terms of style and fashion, you are meant to do something completely different because you are setting the standard. In terms of job examples, you might excel in careers that involve technology, science, or social justice, or entrepreneurial, or like Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, things like that, things that are new and different, things that, no one's really doing. Your career, it might involve like a lot of technology, but just know that it most likely will be different. It will be something that, like, if you don't have Aquarius placements in your family, if you're not surrounded by a lot of Aquarius energy, then no one is going to understand you. No one is going to support you. They're not going to know what you're doing until it's actually done and until you've influenced whoever you're meant to influence, right? So Aquarius energy is just very chaotic. It's very rebellious. Your purpose here is to do something completely different with your career. Like, yeah, science and technology does rule over Aquarius, and you could find careers and things like that if you want to stay on the more safer or practical side. But understand that your career, it's going to be unconventional. It's going to be, very different. It's going to be something that shakes the tables, and it's okay to really embrace that. Now, this is the only midheaven where I'm not really going to include any celebrity examples because it really wouldn't make sense, because Aquarius midheaven is so diverse. Like, this is the one sign that could literally be anything. Like, you are a unicorn, because Aquarius is just so different and it's so vibrant. There's endless possibilities. Like, you could really excel in anything because you bring on this different vibe. You can change anything. You're really meant to influence. You're not supposed to really be working. You're supposed to be influencing, if that makes any sense. You're supposed to be being the change. And so a lot of people with Aquarius midheaven, their careers, their aesthetics, it's just really different because, there really isn't a definite sort of basis as to, what you're supposed to be doing or what you're supposed to be looking like, because you're meant to be the change. And all of the other zodiac signs are sort of influenced by this, you see. But I will say the sort of space aesthetic, the sort of technological aesthetic, I think there's an aesthetic called Future Giro. It was popular in the early 2000s, or like think of Y2K technology. That is very Aquarius if you're thinking about like aesthetics. As for archetypes, honestly, the rebel, the peacemaker, the hero, someone who is the change, will do whatever they can to help and save and serve humanity. That is Aquarius energy. That is Aquarius influence. Any hero in any form of fiction is Aquarius archetype. Anyone who's like a rebel, that is Aquarius archetype. Anyone who sort of stands out, that is an Aquarius archetype. The TV show Wednesday would be an Aquarius midheaven. That's a really good example of that as well. You see, like, it's very different. They just change things. They stand out because they aren't like everyone else, And so that's sort of where everything plays into their favor. So how can you use midheaven and Aquarius to find your personal style and attract others? Well, if you have midheaven and Aquarius, then you might want to incorporate futuristic and unconventional pieces into your wardrobe, like how I mentioned earlier. Like the Future Giro aesthetic, the early 2000s Y2K tech aesthetic. There's this movie that Disney made called Xenon. That would be very Aquarius. So like futuristic technology, different, not like everyone else. Think metallic accents, asymmetrical cuts, and statement accessories that push the boundaries of fashion. Think of anti-fashion. Look into anti-fashion brands and fashion brands that produce clothing that would be typically considered ugly, and things like that, Aquarius finds beauty in uniqueness and the difference and things that no one really looks over. And it's like as if no one knew what gold was and you found gold one day and all of a sudden everyone was obsessed with it because they didn't even see it in the first place. that is the Aquarius midheaven. Thank you so much for watching this video. Do not forget to leave a like and a thumbs up down below, and a comment. Tell me what you thought about this video and about your midheaven. I'd love to chat with you. I do offer consultation. Just shoot me a DM on Instagram or shoot me an email, and you know, I'll eventually get to it. However, I will let me inform you that by the time this video is out, I most likely will be on my hiatus. I'm taking a super long internet break to focus on myself, but I'll be back around late June or July of 2023, of course. So yeah, I'll get back with you during that month, and we can chat and talk about your chart. If you wanted to know more about your midheaven, click my link down below and you'll be able to access my ebook library full of the books that I've written myself all about astrology. I go over all the midheavens, and it's a more in-depth, you know, sort of response. So if you're looking for something more, then definitely look into that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.